ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the ESL Hearthstone Legendary Series. My name is TJ Osmocutie Sanders, once again, joined by Hyped. And these Plantronics commercials, man, they just keep coming. Wing Wayne points not guaranteed.
Not guaranteed.
According to Steve. So don't try any of those stunts that the Plantronics guys performed at home. But we are about to get underway with the elimination match, the first elimination match for Group A between Lifecoach and limujx. And lately, Lifecoach is not a name that you would think to hear saying he's in the first elimination match.
Yeah, and his losses were like so close.
Mm-hmm.
He was so close to winning.
Yeah. But he can take solace in the fact that Cornigo, the player that did manage to beat him, has taken first place in that group, got direct seed to the semifinals. And we're about to see the conclusion of Group A. Now, limujx, he had a really rough first round. He got 3-0'd by Turth in a very, very quick series. I think the whole series lasted a little bit less than 40 minutes. And Turth's decks were not the strongest. Both of those players, Turth and limujx, did bring Shaman, which has been one of the most underrepresented classes in all of Hearthstone over the past couple of months. So we'll have to see. The loser of this, of course, does still go home with $200, but they don't have a chance anymore at making that automatic land spot in the $1,500 for taking first place. And you do have their decks.
Yes. So limujx has Shaman, Paladin, Rogue.
Okay.
And Lifecoach has the Warlock, the Demon Lock, Paladin, and Druid. So 2 Paladins. The Shaman versus Warlock, it used to be like, people used to say Shaman was like a handlock counter, but it was more like a deck that was just good against handlock, and it's gotten weaker. Yeah. I mean, the Warlock's gotten stronger, I should say. Whereas the Shaman's tools to compete with the handlock haven't really gotten better, like Neptulon. That's not really good against handlock as compared to like the Doomhammer, which they don't run anymore.
Nope.
They do have the Crackles for burst. All right, so it's going to be Rogue versus Paladin. So Lifecoach is basically saying, okay, so the Rogue is very favored to win, but that's okay because Lifecoach is saying I need my Paladin's going to have the hardest time getting a win, so I need to open with it first. limujx killing it with the Rogue. But what this means is if limujx wins, he can no longer use his Rogue, so he has Shaman and Paladin. He just has to get wins against the handlock, Druid, and Paladin, which isn't, unreasonable.
Yeah.
Paladin's pretty decent against handlock with the qualities, but
there's a lot of thought that goes into it, and one part of Conquest is that the players are given which decks their opponent has available to them. They just don't give them which deck, of course, they're like playing first. So they know, or they should have some sort of idea of how to order their decks, or some sort of plan going out to each individual best of 5 in Conquest, knowing how to order their decks.
Yeah.
They're trying to a little bit to dodge the poor matchup early on, but at the same time, like you said, it's usually better to leave your strongest deck for last. That way it's easier for you to pick up that last victory. Now, Lifecoach, probably not very happy about that first matchup. He is going to have to go against a Rogue.
He's not too sad. He knows Paladin's going to lose to Rogue at some point. He just wants to get a win with Paladin.
Yeah.
So limujx might be happy that he got that lineup, but overall, I don't think it helps him that much.
Yeah, at least not in this first matchup. Now, Lifecoach tends to be a little bit greedier with some of his choices. His Paladin's a little bit slower than a lot of Paladins we see like on ladder or from other players. He does play a lot more bigger threats.
Yeah, so there's the Sky Golems, and was there also Rag in there? I think there was.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes he throws a Kel'Thuzad in there as well, so he plays a lot of bigger, heavier threats. He cuts out some of the more, the early game cards like Zombie Chow. He either runs 1 Zombie Chow or 0 Zombie Chows, which is a really bold move. Considering that someone could just bring a hunter and
definitely
pull it out.
They don't really help you against rogues. It's pretty good. His hand, he hasn't mulliganed yet. I hope not, because that hand is not good.
I think he did, because they're not lit up green.
Oh, the Lifecoach.
Oh, yeah. Lifecoach. Okay.
Yeah, but limujx's hand is okay. I mean, it's good. It's good enough. As long as your hand isn't awful versus Paladin, you should be fine. Ballot Teacher is like what you really want, because 5 HP Ballot Teacher is invincible if you can clear the board. You can't True Silver it, and they can Aldor it, but then you just make a bunch of dudes anyways, and you don't care. Harrison's, that's one of the cards you want. You want Harrison, you want Lotheb, you want Minibot, which he has. Actually, his hand is really good. And limujx doesn't have the fan, but he might just dagger SI7 the dudes down. Okay, Lifecoach's hand is actually pretty good.
And limujx actually is not that great. I mean, he's got creatures, but a lot of times against Paladin, creatures are okay, but you want spells to be able to deal with like the muster for battle, and to be able to get yourself in a position where you can lay that Violet Teacher safely, or keep something on the board to be able to utilize oil later on in the matchup.
Alright, goes with the obvious play. A coin agent actually wouldn't have been that bad. Like, you're right into the shield because you could heal the SI7 agent next turn with the Earth.
Yeah.
And would have left him in a better position against this, which he has no answer to.
There's always that moment when you're the Paladin, you're holding your breath when you play the muster for battle.
And then you see it right off the top card. Yeah.
Oh, hello. Even if you have a Fan of Knives, you always play the one off the top for the tilt factor. Oh, Lifecoach is pretty happy about that. A small look of relief on his face after he doesn't see the Fan of Knives.
Alright, so I guess you trade in, just the mini-bot and threaten the Quartermaster. Unless he really wants that source of 2 damage for, not much. You don't need the 2 damage.
He's going to take a second to think about this. This is tough. Now,
yeah, the thing is since Lifecoach didn't have the coin, technically limujx could have had the fan and just waited a turn, since he's not worried about Quartermaster yet. He could just wait a turn, or Flurry, of course.
At the same time here, he could sort of save his tokens to sort of threaten Quartermaster.
Yes, he's going for that play.
Which sort of like gives your Silverhand recruits taunt.
Yeah, makes them really scary. Like, I've seen rogues. I've made this play as a rogue. It's not wrong, and I've seen it where you do something like you backstab one, you SI7 one, you hit the other one. It's like feels bad.
All for 1/1s.
Yeah,
you just traded like 3 for 1.
Yeah.
Scary moment. Harrison Jones is actually a really big turn 5 play a lot of the times for Paladins, or for Paladins in the rogue matchup, because a lot of times they're getting a fresh dagger like on turn 4.
Yeah.
But Pilot Shredder comes down.
So limujx had the option to do one of those super defensive, afraid of Quartermaster plays with like a coin dagger SI7, but instead he just chooses to go with the Shredder, assuming he doesn't have it. Limujx actually in Brad's spot. He has no Flurry or Fan. The thing about this matchup is, like, it doesn't matter. You'll get Flurry. Once you do get Flurry, you'll clear the board.
Yeah.
But he doesn't actually have the Deadly or the Oil, so he doesn't even have that. He needs like 2 cards to clear the board.
Yeah. He does have Azure Drakes, and he does have a preparation, so he can make a pretty strong play with Azure Drake in like drawing into something else.
So yeah, let's see. If he Azure Drakes 2 turns in a row, that's 2 draws plus his 2 natural draws. He has about 4 draws for either Fan or Flurry, which will all do the job.
Yeah.
So 4 draws out of he's got like probably like 24 cards left.
Yep.
Pretty good.
Pretty good odds.
Oh, 4 cards. 4 draws for 6 different cards. So I messed up the math already. It's good odds.
Way over my head.
Yeah.
It's
4 chances out of 1 out of 4. Okay.
I think he's just gonna go face with all this damage, basically forcing him to have that AoE. He knows that if he hasn't used it by now, he doesn't have it. So forcing him to draw it.
Plus, keeping the mini-bot shield on is really important.
And Lifecoach just left.
Oh.
I really compliment Lifecoach's cupware. He's shown off quite a few different cups so far today.
Oh, did he take an empty cup? He's gonna go refill it.
Yeah, and he had a cup earlier, and then he changed it out for a glass cup, and now he has a mug.
Nice.
He also had a really cool tea kettle. Where did he go? Maybe he does have a cup. He's just hiding it. He's waiting for the right moment to reveal his 3rd cup.
I snuck it under the table.
Yeah.
All right, we got nothing. So he has to backstep. He doesn't have to backstep. So he can run it in, get an explosive sheep, and then backstep the explosive sheep. It's probably the play.
Yeah.
Or the unstable goal. So backstep only reduces 2 damage. Plus he's like looking at the SS7. I want to backstep SS7 or something. All right, so he just runs it in. He doesn't need to save the 2 damage. I'm fine with that. That's one of the worst ones.
Yeah. Pretty much anything with a battle cry. Any 2-drop with a battle cry.
Yeah, he only got like half of a 2-drop.
Yeah. And now that backstab, I mean, it's going to take off the shield off the mini bot? That's not really that worth it.
All right.
Probably Sky Golem.
Yeah.
Probably just slam it down.
Yeah, definitely. And then just run the Beltrons, 1 HP, just run into the Drake. Oh, that's like such a worthless Drake.
afford this for now.
Unless he wants to push damage. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Got him at 10 HP.
That's pretty enticing as well.
Yeah. I mean, this guy golem does 6, though.
Yeah. Yeah, the Azure Drake isn't really... Yeah, I guess it's not really that useful, because whatever AoE he has, or whatever spells he has, everything on the board right now has...
Yeah.
As little health as any AoE or any type of board clear would do, so...
He's got the second Drake. Okay, so he has the 2 more draws to look for the fan or the flurry. He can still afford a dagger at prep flurry.
Yeah, I like clearing off the ooze here. Makes it so that he has doesn't have an oil target. So if he does use oil to like clear board here, it's not going to be the most efficient.
He might go for the prep sprint if he thinks he needs the sap. I think I would go for the prep sprint here because now the fan.
He would burn a card.
Would I think you can coin first or something. He's gonna do it this way.
If he throws, yeah.
Alright. Just looking for that sap.
Oh, jeez.
He can backstab SI7 the thing. The Sky Golem, it's usually like a... If you're happy if it's like something like a 3/3 or lower. And there's not that many good ones. Like most of the time it's going to be like a less than average 4-drop. Because most people are used to, when you think of 4-drop, you think of like Yeti, Shredder, Battle Teacher.
There's a lot of bad
There's a lot of bad ones. There's a lot of bad ones. And you're like, that's a 4-drop? Yeah, I think you got to go for the backstab SI7 here. Unless he really wants to dagger to get the flurry next turn. But he has... No, he doesn't have a prep. Okay,
I don't think he can really afford to take the 9 damage the following turn.
Yeah, but like I said, this if he backs up SI7's the potted shredder, it'd probably only reduce about 3 damage.
Lifecoach tucking in.
This is one of those times, yeah, you go for the Harrison just to lock out his mana.
It's basically the nail in the coffin at this stage.
Unless he wants to go for the shredder for like a super resilient board.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think this just makes it so with 8 mana on the following turn. I mean, what is he going to do without a weapon? He'd have to weapon up, find a way. He's already been through a preparation. One preparation. Or has he? Yeah, I think he's
one
just
prep.
been
He
through one.
prepped the sprint, just one.
Ooh, what card was that he burned?
Evis.
Oh.
Pretty good. But when you have like this really a full hand, you like those like really cheap effective spells.
Yeah.
But this is actually okay. So normally, if you saw, remember when we go back to the picks, if you saw a rogue lined up against Paladin, you're like, oh, limujx won the pick battle. He mind gamed Lifecoach, but actually, as we can see, Lifecoach maybe he just wanted that 10% chance to beat rogue with Paladin because he knew it'd be in a great spot.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, the picks lined up for Lifecoach, or maybe I should say the draws lined up for Lifecoach in this picks in the draws. But really see this Paladin versus rogue win should not happen, but he took the chance. He got the chance for it, and it worked out. This is why the weak decks go first in Conquest, just for those small chances to get match wins like this.
Because if you're still not in the worst off position later on in the game, even if you don't manage to pick up a win. But if you do, then you're just the turtle.
That's actually a pretty solid one.
Yeah. All right. Well, Lifecoach is going to take that victory with the Paladin. And off to a good start here. And limujx just cannot catch a break. He has not won a game so far today. 3-0 in his first match, down 1-0 in this one. He really needs to step it up, and with just Shaman and I believe Paladin.
No. Limujx, Shaman and Paladin, yes.
Yeah, Shaman and Paladin remaining.
Oh, no, he sells Rogue because he lost.
Oh, yeah, so, he lost.
So it's always,
Throws me for a loop, man.
Yeah, me too.
Throws me for a loop.
Lifecoach has Warlock and Druid. So Druid is pretty solid against Shaman and... Okay, maybe Druid is a little weak. I'm trying to think of which one Lifecoach is going to go with. He's going to go with his weaker deck. Pretty even.
Probably see him going with Warlock for this matchup.
I think so.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. He can... Yeah, his Warlock deck, he seemed to be pretty comfortable with it. If you remember back, he got the Rag Snipe on the Mal'Ganis. Like, he had his Mal'Ganis snipe by the Ragnaros. He actually would have won that matchup. And this Warlock deck has actually gotten him a lot of victories in other tournaments that have been happening in this past week. He's had a lot of success with it in the Kingwin Pro League. When he was playing in IEM Katowice, he had a lot of success with it as well. He actually goes with the Druid, though. So
no, you're right. He thinks his Warlock's stronger, so he saves it for later.
I guess that's true, yeah. I always just assume that Druid is like
last.
Oh, yeah, Druid's my ace.
It is very commonly last, yeah.
which in last Hero Standing, it was the opposite.
Yeah.
It was
you
always
start with
first.
Druid,
You start
'cause
with
you can't
Druid,
counter it.
Yeah. There was a chance that you could just completely blow out with Druid, and you would almost always pick up wins.
Yeah.
At least one win.
Yeah. And the strength is like, what do you go when they go Druid? You're like, Zoo is pretty good, but
Yeah.
sometimes you don't even have Zoo in your lineup.
Yeah. People don't even take Zoo anymore.
Yeah, it's
And
making a slight comeback, but
what about Hunter? What are your thoughts on Hunter right now? Because Hunter is all over the place on the ladder, considered one of the strongest decks, but nobody ever, well, I don't want to say ever, but we haven't seen a Hunter yet today, and it's not a class that we see as often in Conquest.
yeah, the mid-range Hunter is not really good in Conquest. It's too vulnerable to too many things. But the Face Hunter is good. It's just a lot of people don't really like playing it or like relying on draws because they don't feel like a lot of high skilled players like I want to play a decks where I can control the wins, not just draws. But it is very strong, and a lot of people have been having a lot of success with it in Conquest.
They don't want to be seen in public playing Face Hunter.
But it's one of those decks where it's like you don't really have to worry about what it lines up because it can beat anything.
Yeah.
Warrior hard counters it, but it could still beat Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, Warrior's not even that common in Conquest, so.
Which I'm very sad about.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of players, when you ask why they don't play Hunter, you ask them, hey, is Hunter strong? They'll say, oh yeah, Hunter's really strong. Why don't you play Hunter? And they just look at you like, come on.
Yeah.
You know why I don't play Hunter. People, I don't know, people look down upon Hunter. It's called Face Hunter for a reason.
Yeah.
Just point your cursor at the face. There was that post on Reddit where the guy taped up his whole monitor except for the face.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty funny.
That's how you play it. Alright, picking up the Wild Growth. Innervate is not quite as good against Druid. I mean, Rogue, because it gets sapped, and if you don't have like something unsappable like the Rag or the Dr. Boom, there's not that many good Innervates. I think. Does he run Harrison in his Druid? I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rogue also has a great hand with the Valid Teacher. Backstab, Deadly. Now, Backstab and Deadly against Druid, they're a little weak on their own, but together they kill anything for 1 mana. Backstab, I mean, Deadly's actually gotten a little better with Shredder because it kills the Shred and the Zombie Chow, but...
Yeah.
Lifecoach's yeah, I always see the Force Nature in his hand. It's hurting him. He really just wants creatures. I wonder if he'll go for the Keeper face, because he put the Keeper out in that kind of weird board before, just to get the creature out.
Oh, wow.
Wouldn't be surprised to see it here. Okay, so that tells Lifecoach that he has a turn 4 play. He doesn't want a Deadly turn 4. He wants to play the creature and have the Deadly on. So he can assume there's a Shredder or a Valid Teacher.
Yeah. So now a lot of players, when they play Druid, when they see Shade, Innervate, and Wild Growth in the opening hand, they'll innervate out the Shade and then play the Wild Growth the next turn.
Usually the way to go.
It saves you the coin. But if you don't have a play to like follow it up, usually having the Innervate as a flex card to play later on is more valuable than having the coin as a flex card to play later on.
Yeah, but there's something to be said about like the Shade. You know, when they innervate the Shade out, it just keeps escaping the AoE. Just like by 1 or 2, and then that's why I usually go for it. Just because like the extra HP is so huge.
Yep.
I think he's gonna keep her face because he's expecting a Blade Flurry. He's actually expecting a 4-drop, and since he put that on, I would be a little bit afraid of a Valid Teacher prep Blade Flurry when I see that play. Okay, so he holds onto the Keeper. It's fine, but I mean, usually I'd be really tempted to play with that coin Dr. Boom next turn. But maybe he's thinking he innervates the Boom, and then he wants to have like a Keeper plus Wrath turn on turn 6. It's a pretty good combo. Kills any 4-drop or 5-drop. Kills the Shredder, kills the Teacher, kills the Azure Drake, kills everything except for Lothab.
Yep. All right, so
now Lifecoach is pretty positive he doesn't have a Prep Flurry. Almost anyone would have gone for that Prep Flurry unless he has a second Deadly. That'd be super. That's, you know, Rogues can kill anything. Like if you're the player, you're like, all right, he can Prep Flurry, he can Deadly Prep Flurry, so you can't really play around everything. You just have to play kind of the odds.
Play around the ones that are obvious.
Yeah.
But don't play around the ones where, I mean, even if he uses Prep Flurry just to kill like a sheet of Naxxramas.
Yeah.
You're okay with that.
There, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think Innervate Dr. Boom seems like a reasonable play here. As fast as you can play Dr. Boom usually is the right time to play Dr. Boom.
We actually see a great response though. Either, he doesn't even have to sap it, so Thalnos backstab Evis. Great. There's 4 targets on the board then for bombs. And if the bomb hits your Thalnos, you're actually happy because you get the draw.
Yeah. You just BGH?
BGH, I did, yeah. That is, wow.
Jump through hoops to kill the Dr. Boom so you could save your BGH.
I have like a blind spot. I'm just like looking at the rogue cards I know. Though I did play a rogue deck like Big Game Hunter and I like Black Knight and Rogue a little bit. Both is a little crazy, but if it should be good against Lifecoach.
Well, Black Knight sort of.
That was the other guy. That was Koroneko.
Yeah.
Okay.
Black Knight sort of shores up some of your poor matchups. And I mean, Black Knight is almost always going to get value because so many decks run Sludge Belcher.
Yeah, definitely.
Well,
all right. So in this is one of those situations where I wouldn't. It's actually hard. Normally you'd backstab a Boombot in this situation, but with the Evis, maybe he wants to hold on. He wants to like do a backstab Evis later.
Yeah.
But he wants that. I think overall it's going to be worth it to backstab a Boombot just to get the extra thing, so it doesn't hit your teacher.
It does kind of hurt a little bit to throw your 3 damage dagger. Into a Boombot here as well. So
I think you do it too. This is what I like. I like this. This is perfect. Yeah, I would have done this exactly.
I think this is the first rogue play of the day that you've actually agreed
Look at Lifecoach's face. He's like, what is he doing? Why would you backstab that when I have this boom? Are you gonna sap my boom?
He's got to know that BGH is coming because you'd only clear the Boombots.
No, he's expecting a sap.
Oh, okay. He's like, okay. Still a little bit confused.
A good thing he held on to that keeper.
Yeah.
Good snipe on the BGH.
Swipe wouldn't be the worst play in the world here. You can swipe Hero Power.
Yeah, actually, he probably really wants to clear that teacher.
Yeah.
He's probably gonna hold on to the Wrath too for like I said, the keeper Wrath is a good combo.
Yeah.
So probably swipe Hero Power.
He's also got to be thinking later on in the game, maybe if a second Violet Teacher comes down, having on a swipe, but he'll still have 1 swipe available. And some rogues have been cutting that second Violet Teacher, either adding like a Piloted Shredder or a second Piloted Shredder, just because it sticks onto the board a little bit better.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about. You can oil whenever you want.
Yeah.
So Lifecoach, I think it's going to be an obvious swipe Hero Power, but maybe he's thinking about if he wants to go face with that Shade.
Yeah. Always thinks through every possible. Of course, you mentioned earlier he has a background in poker.
Yeah, he could even be like doing some odds on the Wrath draw, but I think you got to save the Wrath.
Yeah.
Keeper combo, because the keeper is like useless on its own. Okay, he's gonna go for the draw. I was wrong.
Maybe when Lifecoach was learning how to play Hearthstone, somebody told him that he wasn't allowed to make any plays until the rope started to come. Oh, holding on to the Shade here. At this point, I think you just hold on to it for his...
Yeah, well, I think he could have got greedy there if he wanted.
Yeah.
Because if you look at his hand, it's all like face damage, so he's gonna have trouble winning.
Yeah.
And he always gets double force. Feel bad for him. Yeah, so now, like with a hand like this, I'd be tempted to attack with the Shade.
It'd be pretty easily cleared off. I mean, if you attack here, you're almost guaranteeing that it's gonna die the following turn because there's so many ways that he can deal with that pretty easily. Well, I guess not without taking much damage.
Yeah, but maybe it blocks limujx from developing more things.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he doesn't care that with the swipe.
Yeah. He's got to be calculating in a couple turns from now when he could have drawn a Force of Nature Savage for how much potential damage could that Shade represent.
Yeah, plus maybe he knows he's like, the Shade's going to be like 9 by the time he finishes the game, so maybe he doesn't even need 2 hits, he just needs 1 hit from the big Shade, because it is invincible in stealth at 6 HP pretty much.
If he Force of Natures right now puts him at 22, if he draws into Savage Roar within the next couple turns, then he just straight up wins the game.
Yeah, definitely. So he's going for the keeper. Okay.
Huh.
So now he can Force of Nature next turn and then Force of Nature swipe the following turn. So that's 16, plus the Shade will, if he only hits once, that's 8. So that's 24 damage. Oh, I thought he was going to keeper. Okay, saving the keeper. I'm so confused. I keep thinking he's going to play it, and he played it that one turn. I thought he wasn't going to play for sure. So now I'm like expecting him to play it all the time, and he never does.
The turn earlier where he like coined it out to do 2 damage to the SI agent.
Like, okay, so he likes getting the creature on the board. Oh, sick. I mean, pretty good.
If he draws to an Innervate here, he could Innervate out a Hero Power to clean up the...
Yeah, you still just swipe it if he does.
Yeah,
Or he could silence it now. Okay, he goes to the swipe.
At this stage,
I don't. Yeah, but with that 3-1 makes it super awkward.
he's thinking if. I think you just keep it under. If you haven't taken it out at this stage, then.
But there's the oil, but he doesn't have the flurry. Okay. But anytime you leave a creature up against Rogue and you have a board, you're expecting them to oil flurry and just be ahead.
But that Shade would still be protected because he's got 3 damage. Even if he oil flurries, the Shade would still be alive with 1 health. He'd have to have
either deadly or
deadly
ban.
Yeah, because he hasn't. He's already gone through his Blood Mage Thalnos, so he doesn't have cheap spell power available.
That heal bot draw is huge, especially if Lifecoach does something like just force a nature's face 1 turn.
Basically would completely negate that turn and that card.
Well, Lifecoach's hands have always been really messy.
He can Keeper and then use Force of Nature to clear off the Azure Drake and do a little bit of damage.
Super awkward. Actually, no, I like double Keeper hero power better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Accomplishes
but
the
he's
same
been
thing.
he's been really holding on to those keepers. He wants to, I don't know.
Basically doing the opposite of what he did in his first matchup.
Yeah.
Where he was just throwing out keepers willy-nilly.
Yeah.
You get a keeper. You get a keeper.
Yeah, a little worried about the flurry, but I mean they're only 2 4s. Do you really? I don't know if you care. Plus, Druid has so many 5-drops. He's very likely to pick one up. I don't know. Okay, so maybe 1. We'll see what he does. The hero power of the keeper. I can't call it anymore.
Who knows what he's gonna keeper? Lifecoach is just. Oh, he's gonna keep her face.
Silence the Shade. Okay.
Lifecoach is just so unpredictable with those keepers.
He is. I'm gonna like play against Lifecoach one, so I'm gonna play like a 10-10 Edwin. He doesn't keeper. I'm like, all right, he doesn't have keeper, and then like I'm gonna lose somehow. He silences the next turn. I'm like, what?
Force of Nature, Savage Roar, double innervates.
Yeah.
Into keeper.
It's keeper face for the final 2.
The final 2.
All right. So combo does. He's doing the combo math, or was he dead last turn? No, he. No. Okay. 14.
No, he's dead to combo.
9. Yeah, he wasn't dead last turn, but now he's dead this turn, so he could still combo.
Oh no, it'd be 11 plus 14, 25. 29 damage can you do with next turn combo? Did I do that correctly?
No, let's see. 14.
8, 4, 6.
25. Yeah, 25 plus 4.
Okay.
29.
Yes.
All right, so if he picks up the second oil, can you flurry that thing down? Yes. So with the second, he can just oil flurry next turn. And that Shade will die.
Well, a Savage Roar draw at any point pretty much at this stage, unless he does get the dream draw of second oil.
Yeah, but you really want to clear. You don't want to let like an Azure Drake stick. But he did see that second charge, so he's like not too worried about a big oil flurry. He's limujx is a little bit off because he can't with that 1 charge.
Yeah. Now this is actually a turn that Lifecoach has to think through because if he just like develops a board here, like plays Paladin Sky Golem, then he has to be worried about how much potential damage can limujx do next turn because 27 health with 2 creatures on the board, one of them having spell power for a rogue can be pretty dangerous.
Yeah, but when you see that, like I said, that charge is gone, you don't worry about flare anymore. But you can't be thinking, oh, he can redagger, prep, oil, flare. So
yeah.
You could kill him, but yeah, for the most part, you can.
Yeah, he can basically cross off 1 prep on the list though, because he did prep sprint.
Oh man, if he does force an issue, he won't have enough time.
All right. This was the play that I expected, just building up his board as much as possible here. That Paladin Sky Golem is still pretty tough to deal with. It can buy him some time.
Oh, can he actually do it? It's 4 plus 5. Yeah, he can. Oh my god.
Okay,
he
so
could have just flurried, redaggered, oiled, and flurried and
it would
killed.
have cleared the board.
Yeah. guess, I mean, so now it's, you can't do it this next turn because it's going to be 1 HP off.
Wow.
Okay, whatever. He has a huge board. That's fine.
Yeah. Savage Roar draw off the top, though. Oh, no, it wouldn't be a win. Not quite. I think he's still in a pretty good position.
All right, I guess this isn't like necessarily worse than flurrying down everything.
Okay. You winced.
Yeah, I was. I did. Well, I don't know if he was like, counting it. I feel like he didn't look at it. That's okay though.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I missed it. Okay, so it was 4 plus 5. Yeah, he had enough, and he had enough mana.
Lifecoach has that effect on players, though. Sometimes you feel like you have to take your turn faster because Lifecoach is taking up enough time for the both of you.
Okay. Did not consider that.
Like you feel like since he's taking so long, you have to rush.
Yeah,
I think a lot of
limujx
players get caught in that trap.
He's like a little fidgety. He's like, I gotta get to class.
Yeah.
I heard this up.
Where's his pineapples, man? Those seemed to calm it down earlier.
Oh yeah, maybe he has like low blood sugar.
Yeah, it could be a possibility. He was actually a student at UC Berkeley.
Okay.
So really smart dude. That's a tough school to get into. But I think he said he was taking a break for a bit, maybe to focus on Hearthstone a little bit more. Because when you're young like that, you don't really have many opportunities to try and be a pro gamer.
Yeah, it's a wise career choice to focus on Hearthstone. It's a choice I've made.
Yes. Not everybody can be top 20 in the world, though.
Yeah. Oh man, I feel bad for Lifecoach because he always gets 2 force, but at the same time, it's like that's why you don't run 2 force. But it's a calculated risk by him.
Yeah.
It's weird though because he runs those 6 drops, which makes you think you'd want to cut the force to make room.
That's still a really intimidating board here, but he's got so much clear potential.
Oh yeah, he's clearing the whole board. So Evis is the shade to start the combo, and then he oils and flurries. And actually, it is. Oh, it might be lethal if he does it this way. So it's 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, it's lethal. Okay. What? Hey. So nervous.
The spectator client sometimes has a delay on some of the abilities, so like you'll see them hover over a card. All right.
Got the lethal.
Spotted it.
Oh, Lifecoach is like, well, I mean, Lifecoach had to know he was behind, so I don't think he's that surprised he lost that game.
That is the most visibly upset I've seen him. And we saw him throw his hands back in frustration earlier on. He's just not catching any breaks today, but that was well played by limujx, spotting that lethal.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have those cards in your hand, once you get a 50, 100 games under your belt as Oil Rogue, you can get pretty good at spotting the lethal puzzles.
Yeah.
But that's going to tie it up 1-1. So he does manage to find a win. Oh, yeah,
yes,
1-1.
Yes, 1-1.
Does manage to find a win.
Lifecoach won with the. Is it a 1-1?
Yeah, 1-1.
Okay, all right.
1-1.
All right.
Okay, we have it confirmed. The wonderful voice in my ear has confirmed me that it is in fact 1-1. So
yeah, Lifecoach, since he beat the Rogue with Paladin, he's like super happy. He was like expecting to lose that instantly, so he's like not in a worse position than he thought a game ago.
Yeah, Druid still relatively easy to find wins with. Of course, we talked about his Warlock a little bit earlier. He has a lot of confidence in that deck. He's been playing so much of it recently. I've seen just in the past week alone probably about 5, maybe even 6 games with him playing that Warlock deck.
Yeah, part of the strength of a new deck though is your opponents don't know it or know how to play it. So now it's getting a little
stale.
A little stale.
Yeah. He's left it out in the sun for a couple too many days.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, limujx, he's got
the classes, Shaman, Paladin,
and Paladin.
Or Shaman and Paladin.
Yeah. So both these guys still have a little bit of a tough road ahead of them. I think that Lifecoach is probably in a better spot at this point. Whoa! Lifecoach is
upset with himself.
Yeah. He's in, I believe he said he lives in Vienna, Austria right now. So it's not too late over there. It's still 9 p.m.
It's about
Hyped actually has a time zone calculator in his head.
Yes, it just takes a while to load up.
Yeah,
it's late, like 10, 11.
Yeah, so he might be feeling a little bit of fatigue. Well, he's been playing in quite a few tournaments this week, so he's probably used to staying up late. But I mean, playing in a lot of tournaments like that probably has a little bit of wear on you.
Yeah.
What is his tournament stamina like? Because it's stressful playing a lot of games of Hearthstone. There's a lot of thinking involved. There's a lot of strategic decision making, and we always joke about it, how he takes a long time on his turns, but that's just because he thinks through every play. How far can his brain go?
Yeah, I don't know about stamina. Stamina is just like mental health. He looks like really upset with himself right now. Like he's like upset. But I don't know. Did he make any like big misplays? I don't think so. And it was like a slow loss. Like he was winning.
Yeah.
And then it was like a slowly, he saw the game slipping away. So it wasn't like a big, like something to be upset about. It seemed like something that he saw coming.
Yeah. There could have been arguments for him bringing the shade out a little bit earlier.
Yeah, but that wasn't as big as some of the keeper and the force of nature weirdness. And just the fact that, he drew 2 force of nature and he couldn't do anything. It's like always upsetting.
Yeah.
So maybe he was upset at the beginning with the draws, but he wasn't letting it affect the game. Now the game's over, he's like, oh, those draws were so bad.
Yeah. limujx seems to be keeping us cool. It can be a little bit frustrating for him to be down a game and also not having to pick up a win yet. That's actually the first win he's picked up all day. So that could be a big momentum swing for him. We could see a little bit of turn tides here. limujx, when you lose a lot of games like that, even though it can sometimes feel overwhelming, sometimes you get in the attitude where hey, it can't get any worse than what it is right now. So let me just take really big risks and win some games.
Yeah, we saw GCT too though. Like he's down, he's keeping his cool and playing very well, even with hard matchups. Okay, so he keeps the Chow. What is the Chow? I guess just flame tongue fodder. I guess you keep it. Puzzle lets you totem. Actually, that's a really good hand. It's like I was gonna say all death rattles. It is all death rattles, but the Harvest Golem and the Shredder especially are really good against Warlock because they don't die to Hellfire.
So Shaman in the past has been considered pretty strong against Warlock. Similar to Druid, they can trade up to a lot of the creatures using Flame Tongue. They have a lot of really great hard removal, like Hexes for Giants, Earthshocks for Twilight Drakes. They have Burst sometimes, so they can push through for a little bit extra damage to take down low health.
Yeah, he actually has double Hex versus double Mountain Giant, which is huge, but he might burn a Hex on that Void Caller. But maybe Lifecoach won't play the Void Caller because he doesn't have a Demon.
Yeah. You want those removals to line up with the threats. Like, if he has double Mountain Giant, you want double Hex. If he has double Twilight Drake, you want double Earthshocks.
Yeah, not to mention if it's in the very beginning of the game like this, then all of a sudden, Henlock, if they get their first 2 mountains Hex, they can't do anything. They're just way too far behind to ever recover.
Yeah. Even though Handlocks can have big hands, sometimes they have pretty dead hands because they have a lot of situational cards that they need other cards to activate. Like the Ancient Watcher is not that useful without Taunt Givers or without Shadow Flame. Things like that.
This one's going to be rough. Maybe he just plays the Belcher next, though. Or he can tap and play the Mountain Giant next. See which one he goes with. I think once you see this, you go for the second Mountain Giant immediately.
Yeah.
And it's going to hurt.
Well, you think to yourself, what are the odds that he has both Hexes? And with that tap, that's going to be a Mountain Giant play for sure. Throws it out.
Plus, I mean, technically, he's high HP, so he can actually afford to get this hexed, whereas other times, it's really devastating. And it's 3 mana for 3 mana, pretty good deal. But the Lifecoach is a little upset, and he's thinking right now, he's like, oh, he's probably got 2 Earthshocks too.
Yeah. Well, at the same time, you're also thinking, well, okay, now both hexes are out of the way. Yeah. So later on in the game, when I want to play Mal'Ganis or my Molten Giants,
he actually does have double Molten Giants. If he Hellfires, he's at 26. It's still a while. But he feels the need to with the Mana Tide.
Oh, the Ancient Watcher. Why not?
Okay.
He can actually afford, well, if he needs to, he can afford to silence his Ancient Watcher because he's seen the Mana Tide Totem. There's not too many valuable silence targets in this deck. Maybe Paladin Shredder or Flame Tongue Totems, but
yeah, or the White Collars.
Oh, or well, no, I'm talking about for Lifecoach.
Okay. All right. What do you got here? Lightning Storm's pretty strong later, but with no spell power in the hand or anything, you might just burn it here. Although he could throw the Shredder. He saw Hellfire, so you might not be thinking about the second AoE, but Warlocks have so much AoE. I thought you said he was a 2. We assumed he was a 2 Shadow Flame guy, but that's 2 Hellfire.
Is it 2 Hellfire? Oh yeah, it is 2 Hellfire. Whoa!
Wonder if he runs. Well, you could actually do all 4, which is great against Shaman.
I don't think he has room for all 4 because he runs double Void Caller, double Mountain, plus Dread Infernal, Mal'Ganis. He's like triple dipping.
Does the Owl and the Ancient Watcher, sometimes people cut those too.
Yeah. A lot of times people would even cut the Mountain Giants for like Void Callers to add in the Demon synergy. But he's just got it all.
Yeah, no Zombie Chows, obviously.
Yeah.
We haven't seen any Dark Bombs either.
Oh yeah, that's true. He made some plays earlier that might indicate that he had Dark Bomb somewhere in there. But you can never really tell for sure. Like he opted to put damage like base.
Yeah.
Where he would be on like a. Well, I guess that would also mean he was looking for Hellfire.
Yeah. Well, we assumed. Well, remember that game? Yeah, he used the Hellfire early. We're like, well, if he has second Hellfire or 2 Dark Bombs, so we were thinking that.
Yeah.
1 Hellfire left.
Yeah.
And that's why he bricked like 5 turns in a row. All right. So do you have to Hellfire? What else do you have? You get like a Void Caller down. You get 2 Void Callers down, even though you got nothing.
I think Hellfire Void Caller.
Yeah, so just get 1 down. It'll pull the other one out at the very least. I'm fine with that. I actually like this. He has 2 Moltens, so he kind of wants to get low.
And he
wants a bigger Hellfire. He can afford to like get a bigger Hellfire.
Yeah. He also wants to make use out of that Ancient Watcher instead of damaging it for free with Hellfire, and he doesn't have Shadow Flame or another taunt in his hand. So he really wants to try and make use of that while he can.
Plus, that's like one of the plays you fear when you're playing against a Warlock is that when they do Hellfire like double, like you're like, all right, he's at I got him at 16 or 17. He can't do anything too scary. Then all of a sudden they Hellfire double Molten. You're like, okay, I wasn't counting the Hellfire. So he could even do like Hellfire double Molten heal bot turn.
Yeah.
That is huge.
Yeah.
What to do?
Well, Power Mace Haunted Creeper seems like the pretty obvious play here. He doesn't have to worry about the Void Caller just yet.
Yeah.
That Void Caller is actually really scary because he doesn't have any way to deal with something big here.
Yeah.
Like Mal'Ganis.
He could make the call though that he saw the Void Caller. He's making the call. He's like, you don't have a second one because that's the second Void Caller.
Yeah, yeah. And he is correct.
Oh, man.
Probably a sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Has
that
escaped
could
him.
that could have been like a high risk play maybe since he's behind, like you said. He's gonna take some risky plays.
Yeah.
But I think that was like a pretty good play. Just not even that risky.
If you have the hunch that he doesn't have like that that big demon in his hand, especially after the Void Caller pulls the second one, getting both Void Callers out of the way means you don't have to deal with those later on. So if he is, like, you don't have to worry about a big Draxus on the board. If he is going to play Mal'Ganis, he has to spend an entire turn playing the Mal'Ganis, which just buys you more time to deal with it. So I like that call. Could have been slightly risky, but like I said, hey, you lose 0-3 in that first matchup, and then you come into this one, guns a-blazing.
Yeah.
Nothing to lose.
Lifecoach really wants to play those Moltens, but he knows it's going to be a while. And like limujx could now like make a big board and just like keep him like super high and just burst him down.
Yeah.
He's got Crackle, he's got the Power Mace on, and he's got the Power Elemental in hand.
I wonder what
Potentially 12 burst.
wonder what sort of win conditions limujx runs in.
I think we saw. Did we see Alakira to him, or was that? This has been so many shamans.
2 shamans. Oh,
so
so
many.
many.
So many.
Anything more than 0 is so many shamans.
So he goes for the Hellfire now. Sludge is pretty strong on this board. You're always worried like when you play Sludge to get Hex. I mean, he's down 2 Hexes, but pretty strong here. Now he's going to deny the Power Mace value for now. Actually, yeah, he's probably going to... Is he going to go for the Fire Elemental? Probably not. No, he's probably not Fire Elemental.
I like Sludge Belcher, and then you can...
Yeah, either Totem or Creeper.
Yeah. I like Totem better here.
Yeah, you need... his hand is very low. I mean, he's low on cards, so he needs to get as much value as he can out of his hero power.
Yeah. Oh. I think that's a pretty
probably
good draw.
feeling pretty comfortable here. He gets to tap as much as he wants. He has the Shadow Flame. Got some heals.
My shield for Argon.
He's hoping for no Earthshock here, but he's not in a terrible position if that does happen. And
Sure enough, there's no Earth Shock.
No Earth Shock. That's what you get for having double hexes in your opening hand. Your Earth Shocks are your last 2 cards. The Karma Police have come and slapped some cuffs on the limujx's Earth Shocks.
Is he just Shadow Flame this? Okay, so Shadow, he can steal a spider. So probably not gonna go for that. Maybe he just puts the Sylvanas on the board now. Even with the with the combo, you usually want to save it. You don't want to risk it getting Earth Shock, but he's pretty positive there's no Earth Shock.
I mean, he can even just. I was gonna say he could just tap and then throw down a Molten
He's going for it now. Oh, so he gets a chance at the ooze. This is smarter than my play.
Yeah.
He's fine with that.
Spider's a spider.
Clear board's a clear board.
And he knows that the Shaman's almost out of cards.
See if we get a reaction to the Lifecoach here.
Off the top. He's waiting for it. Watching intently. Aw, that wasn't even that.
Lifecoach
Didn't even
correctly
bat an eye.
recognizes that he's far ahead
Yeah.
despite that.
Yeah. Shaman has 1 card left. He knows that he's been through 1 Mana Tide. It's not that often that you draw 2.
Yeah, you're so happy to play like just slam. You look at the Shaman 10, he's got 1 card. He must go slam giant after giant.
And you know that he's gonna have to just deal with this like the brute force way. No hexes remaining.
This is like one of those times where you're happy to see Healbot because you're like, oh, I get to play all my stuff. I didn't want to kill you. That would have been boring. I get to play everything.
How do you even deal with this Molten Giant at this stage in the game?
Feral Spirits, I don't know. A Noyotron.
Feral Spirits and plop a Flame Tongue in between them, and then just get silenced. Yeah, this is looking pretty grim right now for limujx. That's one of the weaknesses of Shaman. I mean, sometimes you just run out of juice. The Warlock can spread out their threats.
Yeah, the double hex wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Lifecoach just has too many targets. Can't hex them all.
Dr. Boom, too little, too late. Lifecoach putting this one in the books. Pouring himself some more tea.
Yeah, even with Taunt Totem and the Crackle hit, it's over.
Out of his New Age kettle, combined with his New Age cup.
I get
Look
the
at
cup.
that.
That is
His cup game is on point right now.
That's pretty insane.
And Lifecoach is going to take a 2-1 lead in this series. 1 game away from securing his spot tomorrow. But doesn't necessarily mean he secures his spot in the semifinals. He would have to play, since he did lose his first matchup, he would have to play in this elimination match and then the elimination match tomorrow as well. So he's still got a long road ahead of him, even if he wins. Now, limujx, of course, he does still have a chance in the series.
Yeah, facing elimination, though, right now, he has to beat Lifecoach's Druid with his Shaman and Paladin. Paladin can do it, and Shaman can do it as well.
Yeah, if there was any 2 classes that I would want to go up against a Druid with, Paladin, yes. Shaman, I think, can do it.
I think Shaman, yeah, and then the 2 Force Nature is going to hurt Lifecoach again in this matchup.
Yeah, he's going to get those in his first 10 cards, of course.
And they're really weak against Shaman because like they have like the Taunt Totem and like just like the Argus Totems and the Feral Spirits where it never really lines up.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just like Force Nature a Fire Elemental. That never feels good.
Yeah. Lifecoach has to be feeling pretty happy, though, being able to take a win with that Warlock, especially after the heartbreaking loss that he suffered in the first series of the day with that Warlock. So he's feeling on the rise here. You could tell in the last game he sort of went from very frustrated at the beginning of the match, coming off the one before that he had lost, to going towards the end, where even after having his taunted up Twilight Drake Earthshocked, he knew that he had a cool, calm head. But guys, if you're enjoying the show, make sure you guys tweet at us with the hashtag HLS or at ESL Hearthstone. Hyped and I are going to be here for quite a long time, but of course we will check our tweets in between some of the matches and reply to you guys. This is week number 1. We have a long Legendary series ahead of us, so make sure you guys send your comments our way, and we'll be sure to check those out. We are about to jump into the 4th game of Lifecoach versus limujx. Lifecoach 1 game away from securing his spot in the playoff round tomorrow for this week for his chance at $1,500.
All right, we see limujx going with the Paladin first, trying to get the win, get his morale up.
Druid
Yeah.
is a fantastic ace. I mean, we've said it a couple times so far today, but it's Lifecoach. His karma for Druid he's been saving it up over the course of the day. He's had double Force of Nature in his opening 10 cards every time he's played the class so far today.
It can only get better.
It can only get better. It's just only a matter. Well, actually, last time he did have a pretty decent start. He did have Wild Growth. He had Cheetah Max Ramus as well.
And
then it just tapered off.
Yeah.
Double Keeper, double Force of Nature. Into the second Wild Growth on like turn 8, which is like never when you want to see it. You either want it in your opening hand or like your last couple cards when you're grasping for that card draw. So we'll see if he can get an explosive start or if limujx can take a couple wins with Shaman, who hasn't met much success today, I would say.
Yeah, it's beaten Shaman. But outside of that,
the only class that Shaman can beat is Shaman, unfortunately. No, I think I'm hitting on the class a little bit too much. Shaman is actually my second most played class on ladder.
Okay.
So most of it was pre-GVG.
Because you're getting upset about losing to Shaman as a warrior, you're like, oh, this is unfair.
Exactly. Usually the two most decks that players play are their favorite deck and then the deck that counters their favorite deck.
Makes sense.
Because they're just tired of getting owned by it. So that's exactly what it was.
Okay, so, all right. Lifecoach's luck is going back in his favor. Although, you know, Paladin's like one of the classes where you're a little worried about something like an Aldor.
Yeah, this is almost the exact hand that we saw from Lifecoach the previous game, except trade out that Dr. Boom for a... Wait, no, that was the exact same hand.
No, was it?
Because he innovated out of Dr. Boom.
Yeah. But he didn't have the coin, so it was like a little different.
He did have the coin.
He did?
Because he coined Wild Growth.
Okay.
And then Shade, and then he hero powered, and then innovated out Dr. Boom. That's crazy. He had the exact same hand 2 games in a row. Or, well, two of his Druid games in a row.
All right, so he gets to dodge the Consecrate, which is nice.
Deja vu. Where am I? Who knows?
Keeper is really important to save against Paladin, but it is, if you can get out this early, it is pretty good, because it doesn't really die anything except for Choose Over, and if they Choose Over it, you're not really that sad. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the Keeper here. But
it's Lifecoach.
He loves to save the utility of the Keeper.
Or not.
Yeah, but I don't know. When you're playing against Paladin, you really need bodies on the board to fight off all their little stuff, or else it piles up, and you can't really swipe their board too easily. So I like getting the creatures on the board to start fighting for it.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why Paladin is considered to be pretty strong against Druid, because they build up a big board with medium creatures.
Yeah, like mini bot too, which is super annoying. Can't weigh that down. Mini bot shredder, just
And then all of a sudden,
there's a few hero powers in there.
Yeah, and then you play like a big taunt, and then they just like equality it down, or by that time it's like too late. They've just swarmed you. The Silverhand recruits just surround you and poke you with whatever.
He's gonna do something weird, like hit the zombie chow again. No, he's hit the
Okay.
I wouldn't even be surprised to see a trade, because sometimes like, you just want to fight for board. He's got the Peacekeeper for the boom, but I mean, how good are the boom bots here? He could even play the lore first. Oh, that makes things interesting.
Nourish.
Yeah, that's super awkward. Two 7-drops, 2 5-drops with the Innervate.
Can nourish for crystals.
Yeah, so he can nourish for crystals, and then he can't Innervate the Belcher anymore.
Is
it 3? Oh, is it 2 or 3?
I think it might be.
I think it's 2 crystals, 3
crystals.
draws.
Yeah, 2 crystals, 3 cards. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Lifecoach, he's been playing Nourish quite a bit in some of his recent Druid lists. It was always a card that I thought was really weird, because I thought it was a really slow card that if you find it in your hand earlier on, I don't know. I was never a big fan of that card, because it sort of like serves the same purpose of Ancient Allure, just without the body.
Yeah, most people looked at it as like a more high variance card. Like sometimes it could be insane early, but most of the time it's less than average. Like most people compare it to Azure Drake, actually.
Oh,
it's like I'd rather just have the Azure Drake.
Yeah. I guess it fits that 5 slot pretty well.
Yeah. Sometimes you get those insane ramp turns where you like innervate the Nourish for crystals on turn 3. It's like, what? And then all of a sudden on turn 4 they like Alex your face and you're like, what?
It's like you turn this innervate permanent. You have a permanent innervate for the rest of the game.
Yo, I'm not
Until turn 10.
I like this because Belcher, he wild growth, so it's early and it's super strong even on curve against Paladin. But one turn earlier, it's super annoying because you can't really Aldor it. True Silver is not even that good. I like it.
Yeah, he'll probably end up floating a mana the following turn because I'm almost positive he's going to innervate out something. I mean, if his board still stays in a pretty decent state, he can maybe nourish, but
yeah,
probably a 7-drop coming down with the innervate next turn.
Actually, yeah, I like this play a lot. This Belcher's perfect because like the boom vulnerable to things like Aldor, Big Game Hunter. Plus, it wasn't even that good of a board for boom bots, and so this will clean it up. And then he could also lore if he wants. And and he got the shade hit in thanks to the taunt.
Yeah,
a really good play.
I always wondered why they didn't have a secondary sound effect for Harrison Jones when the opponent doesn't have a weapon.
Oh.
He seems like he's going a little bit insane when he just pops in the board and says, "That belongs in a museum."
There's nothing there.
There's just nothing there. What are you doing, Harrison? Like he's drunk. He was supposed to be in the home, but he got out.
Oh.
He's seeing things. He's hallucinating. That belongs in a museum.
Oh, Ancient Mage and Harrison Jones combined. That's what happens when you buff him with Ancient Mage. Just like shares the dementia.
And then you have to be demented to play Ancient Mage in the first place, so it's like
That's true.
just triple.
Although Strifecrow played
triple
it
threat.
once, I think.
Did he?
Did he play it in that weird Zeus deck? I don't know, maybe not.
Oh yeah, you're right. You are
Pretty
right.
good with Fork Lightning. And so going with the lore.
Yeah.
Oh, no, still thinking about it. It's hard choice. Boom is fine, lore is fine.
I think this is going to be a decent board for the boom box.
Yeah, I think you definitely don't kill the Shredder, but you can hit something like that. That's good.
That's a very intimidating board. He does have a quality Consecrate.
Yeah, so does he hit... Let's see, how does he do that? I think he hits into the Belcher, and then I think maybe he leaves the Shredder. He doesn't, like, his quality Consecrates, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're not too sad if the bombs hit your Shredder.
Yeah. And either way, Harrison Jones is going to be at 1 health. Because of the equality.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Alright, so now if he goes for the lore, though, he could get sniped by the Knife Juggler with the Shredder. Actually, yeah, he gets a lot because the Shredder will actually shoot a knife as well.
Yeah. He refills his hand a little bit. He does have Nurse to refill his hand a little bit more.
That's actually great. That's what you want. Azure Drake Swipe is what you want against Paladin.
Yeah. Can clear just about everything.
Put this apple on your head.
Here we go. He's got 1,000 swipes to be able to deal with this. Or
Oh, he can't Azure Drake Swipe, though.
No, 1,000 juggles.
Yeah, but the Mana Wraith is blocking the Azure Drake Swipe. He can swipe your power if he wants.
Wait, did all of these juggles hit face? Oh,
Okay.
almost dodged all the juggles. And you can see Lifecoach. Hey, that's the first smile we've seen from Lifecoach today.
Okay, he only had 8 mana anyways.
Yeah.
It's actually annoying because now he can't swipe Hero Power Shade either. He can swipe Shade and leave the... Actually, I like swipe Shade, leave the Mana Wraith up for your opponent's turn. It's kind of cool. Kind of cool.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. It's not going to really stop him that much.
But maybe he just wants to swipe Azure Drake Swipe next turn.
Yeah.
Oh no, he can't risk the Quartermaster. It's too much.
He can swipe face, Wrathful 1 here.
Yeah.
And he would set himself up for Savage Roar, Force Ninja Savage Roar win the following turn. I think that's the right play here. Actually...
Yeah, swipe. You can even swipe, innervate the Shade on the board. Swipe face, innervate the Shade on the board.
Yeah.
A little worried about Tyrion, but... I kind of like, I think the reason he wrathed that Knife Juggler is because he's thinking about maybe not swiping the Mana Wraith. I like that.
I don't know. I think I like saving...
Okay.
This line of play, I think, means that he's going to innervate. Oh, wow.
No, yeah, because,
Why wouldn't he swipe face and Hero Power on the Mana Wraith?
Huh. Yeah, saving 2 damage on this. Okay.
I thought
Maybe he was thinking about it and then changed his mind at the last second.
Yeah, because the Shade cost 3 after he killed the Mana Wraith, and he didn't want to float a mana with the Innervate. Who knows? But it seemed like a weird line of play there. I like saving the Innervate because a play with like Nourish, draw cards, you have more room to play more cards with Innervate.
Yeah. Plus, let me look at this turn right here. This is strong.
Yeah.
And he's like, I get 2 Force every game, so I'll just use one now.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't have Savagery on the deck apparently.
Yeah. The next Force Nature is probably my next card, judging by. Yep.
Saving the Innervate. That's fine. I mean, Drake is a little bit vulnerable to Paladin because of True Silver. I guess you don't. I mean, because Innervating the Drake, it's only a 4/4, and your Shade is basically like a 3/3.
Yeah.
He goes for it.
Sometimes Lifecoach's plays confuse me a little bit.
This one should be pretty obvious, yeah. Lifecoach needs to find a way to deal with that tier, and I wonder if limujx will slam it. Although we have the Rag hero power if he wants it.
Yeah.
Takes
Also,
him to 5 HP.
he still has a keeper somewhere in his deck, I believe. He's only used 1, so nourishing into a keeper could be a play here.
Yeah.
And I think nourish is probably the way to go.
Nah, you can't. I mean, with Rag
Really?
and Drake, you gotta play one of those.
Well, he can play Drake and nourish.
Yeah, that's why you can just go for the Shade.
That's true.
It's like we said earlier, the Drake is better than the Nourish, so play the Drake over the Nourish, but maybe he plays both here. Because if he doesn't want to overextend too much, he can do both. But I think he wants to hero power that thing. No matter what play he does.
Yeah.
But he'll Drake first.
Yeah. Drake, Shade, and... Well, actually, if he's going to go for that play, I'd probably just hero power down and then throw Rag.
Yeah, I like that play too, but the Paladin's still pretty high.
Yeah.
It's 16.
It's still tough to deal with. Rag isn't susceptible to like Aldor Peacekeeper.
Yeah, that's true.
He could make it so that he could have a coin flip for dealing with Tyrion later on, like you said, with the Rag hit, hero power Rag hit.
I guess he's probably, if Tyrion comes down, I'll probably just like Nourish. Oh, he's nourishing now, okay. It's weird that, I guess he doesn't want hero power, that's fine.
I told you, sometimes Lifecoach's plays confuse me. But he's refilling his hand, and the reason why I went towards that Nourish play was that, oh, he lays on hands. He's not building his board. There might not be another opportunity for me to use Nourish as safely as it would be now.
That's true, because now you don't overextend.
Yeah.
Alright, so you got the big game hunter for the Dr. Boom. Actually, swipe does 6, doesn't it?
6 and 3, yeah.
limujx has really got to want a True Silver, but the plays are weak. It'd be True Silver, Aldor, hero power. Pretty weak. But he knows those big drops are super vulnerable right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he goes for the True Silver. Actually, or maybe he feels behind enough to boom.
That's really far.
Well,
Leaving 2 Azure Drakes on the board to Dr. Boom.
But that is when you play boom, because that's when the boom bots do 4 each.
That's true.
Those are prime boom bot targets.
Yeah.
I don't know, when I play Rogue...
That's wishful thinking.
When I play Rogue and I have a Bot Teacher on the Drake on the board, they just put 1 into the Bot Teacher, kills the Drake. They put 1 more into like a student, kills the teacher. It's every time it just... Right, goes for the,
confirmation bias.
Okay, going for the boom. I like it. Oh, and the... Okay, this is better. This is the best play. Alright, so the swipe does 6 and 3 AoE. Does he just have lethal somehow? It's 12 plus 5, 17? No.
He's very close.
Yeah.
He still has a pretty efficient way to clear the board here. Well, yeah. He'd have to sacrifice basically both of his Azure Drakes because he'd have to hit.
Yeah, I think he's just thinking about the order of how he wants to dodge the bombs.
Yeah.
So he could play the Shredder first if that's what he wants to play this turn, because he might want to hero power. Okay.
Yeah, he could hero power the
mini bot.
The mini bot. Throw the 1 health or the 1 attack Azure Drake into the Dr. Boom and then swipe Dr. Boom.
Yeah. Maybe he swipes first, and that way, if like the 1 attack Drake dies, then he could do something else like Force in Nature.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's super because he doesn't want to trade. If say the 1 attack Drake dies, then the Doctor moves at 1 HP. He definitely doesn't want to hero power it, and he definitely doesn't want to throw his 4 HP Drake into it.
That's true.
Okay, so yeah, he's not going to rely on the Drake going into the...
There was also a chance that if he actually
I
hero
forgot that he had-
powered,
Okay.
if he hero powered the shielded mini bot and then swiped, he could have died.
Yeah. I seem to have a blind
Oh,
spot
no, he
for
wouldn't
the
have died.
big game hunter that he has 2 of. Is that 2 or is that a bug? I keep missing that.
The which one?
The big game hunter for the boom. I kept thinking he had to like swipe the boom. It was like all the math I was doing. But he has 2 though. That's crazy. It's fine though. 2 in Druid is pretty good.
Yeah.
Or is it just a bug? Yeah. He's
Yeah,
got 2.
I have a. I don't know. You've sort of passed on your big game hunter blind spot to me.
I think we were just too excited about the 6 damage swipe. We're like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, 6 damage swipe. It's
2 spell powers on the board as a
Yeah.
druid? Crazy!
Reporting for duty.
That's lethal.
Yep.
Force of Nature, hero power into the Tyrion. Yeah.
All right, so Lifecoach dodges elimination today. limujx, unfortunately,
Yeah.
he's out.
A little bit rough for him. He had a rough first series, got 0-3, falls to Lifecoach 3-1. But you can see Lifecoach's face, so much relief once he saw that he actually had lethal from that one. And limujx was actually the first seed coming out of the Challenger Cup this week, so well played to him. It's a really tough feat to make it through those open brackets,
Yeah.
especially coming out as that first seed. You have to beat a lot of players. They played over a course of 3 days, I think, now,
Yeah,
just because
that's
there's so many
insane.
players. Because we now do, instead of like blind pick best of 3s, we do best of 5 conquests throughout the whole entire Challenger Cup. So it's pretty grueling. He is going to go away with $200, though. We don't send them away empty-handed. So congratulations, limujx. But he will be going out as the first one eliminated. Congratulations to Lifecoach. He will survive another match. He's got a long day ahead of him tomorrow, though, if he's going to want to make it to that finals and qualify for the LAN finals as well as $1,500. You can see on your screen there for Group A, the final tally. Cornico, with his 2-0, he's going to go straight to the semifinals. That'll happen tomorrow. Of course, limujx, we just mentioned, he is out. And we will see an elimination match first thing tomorrow on Sunday between GCT Turth and Lifecoach to determine who goes on to the semifinals as well. Over in Group B, though, that's those games will be happening today. Azuzu, Bub Senpai, Kaldi, and, of course, the #1 ranked player currently in the world by Gosu Gamers is Strife Crow. So that group is going to be really, really exciting. Do you have any final thoughts on Group A? Did anything
It was a lot of
excite
shaman and
you?
priest. A lot of, or just one priest. Okay, a lot of shaman. One of them made it through though. The other one got punished. Yeah, Lifecoach. No surprise to see him advance. His losses were like so close, and like he's so close to winning. So I would have felt bad if he actually lost because of that.
Yeah.
Coroneko playing great, just cleaning house 2-0, and then GCT Turth actually pulling out a win with priest is pretty cool.
Yeah, some underrepresented classes happening here. 2 shamans, a priest coming out, and mild success, I'd say. We said the only class that shaman can beat was another shaman, but
Yeah.
I'm hoping more innovative, like shaman and priest decks are starting to hit the ladder. So hopefully we'll see those guys make a comeback, maybe in Blackrock Mountain, perhaps, which is released next week. So I'm excited to see that for the remainder of the Legendary Series. But guys, we want to give another quick shout out to our sponsors who make all this possible here at the Legendary Series, Plantronics and Gigabyte. If you guys want to support esports, support the Legendary Series, support everything we do here at ESL, you can go to those links right below us on your screen. None of this would be possible without them, so huge thanks to them. But of course, we have a lot more Legendary Series action. Group B continues right after this break.